But we were the originators. I was the originator of the supermatch format of arm wrestling. That's just a fact. And I'm proud of that. And people, they can progress to be an arm wrestler. They can come out of school and be a professional arm wrestler. That's what I want. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Win, and it would say, okay, number 2166 England winner. They didn't even say your name. You know, it was your number and where you're from. And I thought, God, that sucks. All my family, boxers, I've been around professional fight sports all my life. And I just thought, this sucks. It completely sucks. I wanted to sort of change that. And I gave a presentation on arm wrestling at high level should be done in super matches. Multiple rounds with one-on-one competition. And it should be marketed. The characters and the athletes are the stars, and that's what will create growth in the sport. And I made comparisons with Olympic boxing versus professional boxing and various other things. And to cut a long story short, I got laughed at and I got told that didn't know what I was talking about. I haven't been in the sport long enough. I was just a kid and it was nonsense. So I did it myself. I started the Iron Arm series. We started doing super matches all around the UK. We did the Trident, and then I started Arm Wars in the early 90s. I think it was 92, Geneva. By the middle of 92, I'd got this presentation in my mind that I was going to give. I went to give it. When I did that, I got laughed at, and it pissed me off. So by the end of that year, I thought, okay. And I started Arm Wars. As soon as I got back from the World Championships, I thought, screw this. And we did it. I did it myself. And I promoted the living daylights out of one-on-one supermatch arm wrestling. Nobody was doing that. And the first person that really took any notice of that, I had a conversation much later with Igor Mazarenko. And Igor Mazarenko said, oh, I love what you do with the supermatch stuff. Yeah, we're going to do something similar. We're going to do the Vendetta. We're going to do... And he did. He did a great job. Igor took it on. And some other people have done bits of things, but nobody had done it properly. Just me. I'd been doing it on my own and nobody paying much attention till I got the Eurosport show and through some of the Arm Wars events. But we were the originators. I was the originator of the supermatch format of arm wrestling. That's just a fact. And I'm proud of that.
Of course,
I kept banging that drum hard, and we pushed it hard. And when the Arm Wars started to gather momentum, people did notice, people did listen, and people did do it. And some of the old-time Americans would say, hey, back in the day, there was one match between this guy and this guy, and they pulled once, just one-on-one for money. And and I would say, and did it generate a lot of interest? And he said, yeah, hell yeah. It generated a lot of interest because everybody loved Cleve Dean was in a match, you know, and I bet if you got Eric Roussan on here, he would tell you the history. But I knew at that point it will work because one match had been done, you know, and it did generate interest and people did give a shit. So I knew that it was true. Regardless of what the guys at the WAF were saying at that time and the guys in the governing bodies, I knew that it would work. And I thought the whole sport needs to go that way. That doesn't mean that you stop doing main draw arm wrestling, that you stop doing grassroots arm wrestling, WAF. I think they should be main draw. But when you get to the elite, when you get to the world level, the best in the world, it should be super match. Because you should know who those guys are. Yes. And here we are.
Mate, I remember a couple of weeks ago you were uploading, so actually, you know what? Let's have a look here about this, and I will throw you the very last question about this blog. Okay, so Instagram,
no
this reel,
special.
That moment that you were deciding to throwing away some of your or most of your Pascal Girard, well mentioned that.
Yeah.
Getting rid of your old trophies, which obviously hurts to watch that, to be honest, like, but you said in that publication and later on that it's time to move forward, start new projects. And this is the thing, I mean, nail pickup, promoter, I would say as well, again, influencer, because you are, arm wrestler, speaker, not only for arm wrestling, but also now in events of strongman. You were also in Pulling John, and you're going to be again in the arm wrestler, the new TV documentary of that's been recorded or produced by Devon Larratt. So having in consideration all of that you have done and what you are, what is possibly left for you to achieve, to do? I mean, from my point of view, it's like you have done everything, mate. What possible goals do you have now?
Very easy. Continue the work that is not yet finished. This was always about one goal. I love arm wrestling. It's not about me. It's about arm wrestling. Arm wrestling is my sport. I love it. It's what I do. And the goal was always to make arm wrestling mainstream. It's always been that. It will always be that. It remains that. I want, if when I finish this thing, you have a situation where arm wrestling is mainstream. People know. Oh, they don't say, "Oh, is arm wrestling a sport?" They say, "Yeah." Not only is arm wrestling a sport, they say, "Oh, we want to watch arm wrestling. We can go watch arm wrestling weekly on TV." Doing those are the things that I always wanted to do, and that is what when I feel like I will have I can rest. If when my sons, if they have any children, they can look back and think, you know what, that's what my granddad did. He was an arm wrestler, and arm wrestling is now a thing. It's a big thing, and people, they can progress to be an arm wrestler. They can come out of school and be a professional arm wrestler. That's what I want. Yeah.